is compromised or does not exist. This is my thought. Now, because Sanju's been wanting to come in, I'll take her in, and then Sohail, I'll come to you. Both of you, please just limit your observations to a few minutes to start with. Yeah.
You know, Arnab, I have said this often on your debate, and I will repeat it at the expense of sounding cliched. The only thing worse than a liar is a liar who is also a hypocrite. And unfortunately, no prizes for guessing that Rahul Gandhi has done at Cambridge exactly what most of us expected him to do, not malign the ruling dispensation. I always say that there's a difference between dissent, D-I-S-S-E-N-T, and dissent, D-E-S-C-E-N-T. Unfortunately, Rahul Gandhi does not know how to differentiate between the two. It's a race to the bottom in terms of how he repeatedly spews venom and makes a mockery of not only himself, but tries to undermine the democratic ethos of our country. And I will just say this, the limited point is, if you recall Kiran Rijiju's article a couple of months back, he said that not once, not twice, not thrice. It was after 4 attempts that finally Nehru agreed to Maharaja Hari Singh's request of Kashmir acceding to the Indian Union. Maharaja Hari Singh pleaded with him. But what was Nehru doing? He was dilly-dallying and vacillating, saying Kashmir deserves a special treatment. And in that same article, Kiran Rijiju said that if there is one politician in the last 70 or 75 odd years who tried to repeatedly falsely peddle the narrative of the UN wanting a plebiscite in Kashmir, it was Jawaharlal Nehru. And I'm sorry to say that Rahul Gandhi has proven the apple does not fall far from the tree. Rahul Gandhi is doing today what his great-grandfather tried but failed miserably at. He's attempting at a balkanization of India by asking foreign forces to try and restore democracy. I mean, look at the irony of it. It is not lost on any of us. We all know that the Nizam of Hyderabad had refused to accede to the Indian Union. It was done thanks to the efforts of one man called Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, who carried out Operation Polo. Had it been left to Nehru, Hyderabad would not have been a part of independent India.
I'm not going to Nehru. Of course, on Indira Gandhi, I have very strong views, because when her own career was threatened by a court verdict, she threw India into an emergency. But PK and Sohail, first Sohail and then PK, what he said is this, and he's not said it the first time, Sohail. I'm coming to PK right after that. Because in 2021, he had also said, why is the American establishment not speaking about what is happening in India? So there is a history to this, and it's not just a rant. Sohail.
So I have 3 or 4 points to make. Number one, I have no issues with anyone debating, discussing their perceptions about a country. But I do have very strong views when you tar an entire nation with the brush of factually incorrect data because you think it'll make news. Number one. Number two, my rule book tells me that no matter what happens in my country, it stays in my country unless I have very pressing reasons. And I cannot be a hypocrite or illogical because there are 2 states, or 3 or 4 maybe, that my party is in power in through a democratically elected mechanism. So I can't say that there's partial democracy like partial pregnancy. There's no such thing. The third, today's India, Arnab, has changed. It is no longer the India which is subjugated, which is bowing down before Western or colonial powers. You know, when you invoke the interventions of the United States or a EU, you actually knock at national pride. Now, you might say, whether the national pride is justified or not is an entirely altogether matter, indifferent. But the reality is today's India has changed. And is Rahul Gandhi so out of sync with today's India? Because when you knock India, you're actually knocking the average Indian both within India and in the diaspora. And the fourth very important thing is, if you talk about democracy having failed or democracy being under threat, then why are you a member of parliament?
Exactly.
Why are you in that parliament?
Exactly. Why
are you staying in accommodation provided to you as an MP? Resign out of protest.
Taken our security.
Let Indians know that you don't believe in Indian democracy. You don't believe in that temple of democracy called parliament, and that you want to resign.